Building responsive websites or web applications is going to be very easy with the help of Tailwind CSS. In case if you're not aware about the responsive design, let me explain you very quickly. When you build an UI application with the help of responsive design, the web page is going to be properly aligned based upon the size of your screen. If someone is checking your website using a mobile, it has to be responsive based upon the mobile screen. Similarly, if someone is trying to view your website inside a tab or inside a laptop or inside a big desktop, based upon the size of the screen, the website has to behave accordingly. This is the idea behind the responsive design. Now, let's try to understand how to build the responsive design websites with the help of Tailwind. Inside the documentation of the Tailwind, if you can scroll down under this core concepts, there is a link with the name responsive design. Let me click on the same. Whenever you are looking to build the responsive design, you need to make sure you have this meta tag inside your HTML page. When we generate our React application with the help of Vite, it already taken care of this. If you go to the index.html, under the head, we have this meta with the name viewport and this content. This is a standard that most of the frameworks and libraries they follow, regardless whether you are using Vite or React or Tailwind CSS. This is a bare minimum to mention inside the web application HTML page to build the responsive design. Once you have this meta information, next we need to use some prefixes to build the responsive design. Tailwind provides some breakpoint prefixes. If you use SM as a prefix, then whatever styling that you're trying to apply with the SM, it is going to be applied as soon as your screen reaches a minimum width of 640px. Similarly, MD means for medium screens. Whatever styling you are trying to apply with the MD prefix, it is going to come into picture once your screen width reaches a minimum of 768px. Here there is an example for medium screens. They are trying to increase the image width to 32 units. As soon as the user screen reaches a minimum width of 768px, then the image width it is going to become 32 units. Similarly, for LG, the minimum width is 1024. When the screen of the end user has a minimum of 1024px, then the image width it is going to have 48 units. Similarly, for XL, we have this minimum width, and for 2XL, this is the minimum width. Whatever you're going to write with the help of these breakpoint prefixes, at the end of the day, all of them, they are going to be converted into these media queries. Inside plain CSS, how do we build responsive designs? With the help of media queries. Whatever you write inside these media queries, they are going to be executed as soon as this width is greater than 40 rem. This is how usually we write with the help of plain CSS. But with Tailwind, it is going to be very easy. You just have to follow these prefixes. If you scroll down, there are a good amount of examples. Let me scroll down further. There is a very good information around the mobile screen. Just like Bootstrap, Tailwind also uses a mobile-first breakpoint system. What this means is all unprefixed utility classes like upper class, they are going to take effect on all screen sizes, while prefixed utilities like MD uppercase only take at the specific breakpoint and above. I know this might be very confusing. Let me take an example and try to explain you here. Here they have a div with a class SM text-center. The developer might be assuming that SM means small, and with the help of small, he is trying to target mobile devices because usually mobile devices screens are small in nature. With that assumption, developer will think that these text center will be applied for all small screens like mobile applications. But that is not the way how it is going to work. Whatever styling that we are trying to apply with the SM, it is only applicable on the screens which have a minimum of 640px and more. If you go to the breakpoints here, for SM, the breakpoint is minimum width is 640px. That's why whatever styling that we have done for this div here, this text center will not work for the mobile applications because mobile screens width will be less than 640px. To make this div work properly, the developer has to build something like this. First, this text-center has to be used, followed by small breakpoint. After the small breakpoint, the class name text-left can be used. With this styling, what is going to happen is For all screens like mobile screens which are having a width that is less than 640px, the text will be aligned at the center, whereas all the screens above the 640px, they are going to have the text aligned on the left. In case if you want to have a different behavior for medium and large screens, then accordingly you need to use MD and XL and 2XL breakpoints. There is good information on this page around the responsive design. My recommendation is to read all this information. Since this is not a Tailwind focused course, I'm not trying to go deep dive into this information. With whatever we have discussed so far, I know you may have some questions on how these breakpoints are going to work. What we can do is, in the next lecture, let's try to have some demos around the responsive design so that everything is going to be clear for you.